Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker shared a passionate kiss as they got married for the third time, in a romantic ceremony in Portofino on Sunday evening. Kourtney, 43, looked nothing short of sensational in a figure-hugging mini dress that showed off her lithe legs, and clung to her curvaceous figure as she said "I do" to the rocker, 46, in an alfresco ceremony at the medieval Castello Brown fortress. The Dolce Gabbana dress boasted corset detailing and a dramatic lacy skirt and billowing train, while she wore her jet black tresses swept up in an elegant updo. The stunning headdress which draped over Kourtney's elegant bun, was adorned with floral embroidery and boasted an image of the Virgin Mary on the trailing veil. She elevated her height in a pair of cream bridal high heels, and sported a very long lacy veil that trailed on the ground behind her. Posting a series of snaps of the pair kissing as they were pronounced man and wife, Kourtney wrote, "Happily ever after." Her famous family were all there to support her on her special day, including her sisters Kim, Kylie, Kendall and Khloe and her mother Kris Jenner. Travis, 46, was spotted arriving at the ceremony in a smart dark suit with a white shirt and his famous bald tattooed head clearly visible as he negotiated his way through the floral displays into the garden venue. He was closely followed by his son Landon, 18, who appeared to be wearing the same bejeweled Dolce Gabbana ensemble that he wore earlier when he was spotted walking around the Portofino harbour area. Landon was accompanied by two bridesmaids and was followed into the ceremony by one of Kourtney's sisters, believed to be Khloe, and Kourtney's daughter Penelope, 9, who is also believed to have been a bridesmaid. Kourtney, 43, remained hidden from view as she entered the garden to a moving rendition of a woman singing Ave Maria, as earlier correctly predicted by Mail Online. Minutes later as dusk fell, Travis was heard saying his marriage vows, although the exact words could not be made out. The newlywed couple were then seen leaving the grotto area as man and wife, and climbing steps back up to the historic house where it is believed they had prepared for the ceremony. It was then that onlookers watching from a beach and a rocky outcrop below got the first glimpse of her in her figure-hugging white wedding dress with what appeared to be a long headdress and long sleeves. Camera flashes were later seen, indicating that the couple were posing for official pictures with their family and friends. Kris Jenner, 66, looked every inch the proud mother as she walked alongside her daughter in a pale pink gown covered in feathers with billowing sleeves. Khloe Kardashian was spotted on a balcony looking resplendent in a black off-the-shoulder lacy gown and sheer gloves. Her golden tresses flowed down her back and were styled in neat waves, and she sported a gold crown-like sun headdress on her head. Kim Kardashian was also seen leaving the ceremony with her 8-year-old daughter North, looking incredible in a figure-hugging black lace gown with long sleeves. Her newly dyed platinum blonde locks were piled high on her head in an elegant updo, and she wore a cross around her neck. North wore a long black robe with diamond detailing around the collar, and lace inserts, which she teamed with chunky black shoes. The pair climbed into the waiting boats to take them back to the shore, while they were followed by Travis' daughter Alabama. She stunned in an off-the-shoulder gray dress, with red flowers, and complemented the dress by wearing red shoes and a red flower in her hair. Kylie looked stunning in the trio of images that gave her admirers a close-up look at her detailed display. She wrote in the caption, "POV your sister's getting married," and the post quickly amassed hundreds of thousands of likes. She played up her voluptuous figure in the body-hugging dress, which appeared to have a hand-painted floral design throughout. Kylie showed off multiple angles between two separate posts, and in one caption she said, "Celebrating love." She teamed her metallic look with a pair of strappy black slingback heels that matched her straps. The beauty wore her raven locks in a polished style that saw them arranged in a swoop bang. They were worn half up and half down, with the top portion twirled into her signature messy bun. The remaining bit of hair was flipped at the ends, neatly flowing down her back. For makeup, the stunner matched her eyeshadow to the colorful palette of the flowers on the frock. She chose a plum hue for her eyelids, making sure to show it off in an outtake with her eyes shut. Kylie's cheeks were contoured and blushed, and she wore a deep brown matte shade of lipstick. Going for an ombre effect, the center of her pout slowly lightened into a more nude color. Dazzling white flower drop earrings with a round, gold base rounded out the striking look. Alabama took to her Instagram story to share several snaps of Kourtney and Travis at the wedding, with one showing the couple at the altar, with Travis kneeling on a chair. She also shared a sweet selfie with Kourtney, who looked beautiful, sporting a full face of glamorous bridal makeup to accentuate her pretty features. After the ceremony, some guests opted to walk up steep steps from the garden where the couple married to reach the castle terrace where the reception party was being held. But others, including mother of the bride Kris Jenner and her daughter Kim Kardashian, opted to step back down onto the private jetty and board one of the Riva speedboats to be taken back to Portofino harbour. Once they alighted at the harbour in their wedding finery, they faced a short walk of around 100 meters to a tunnel entrance in the hillside which gave them access to a private lift into the castle. Kris smiled as she happily posed for photographs in her feathered pink outfit. When a Mail Online reporter asked her how the wedding went, she replied, "Really great, thank you." Another guest excitedly added that the ceremony was beautiful, as she dismounted from her boat. Kim and daughter North, 8, were believed to have been accompanied by Kourtney's smartly dressed, bow-tie-wearing son Rain on their boat as they made their way to the party. The little boy admonished photographers, saying, "Give us a break guys," but Kim seemed to be in good humor and told him that it did not matter. At around 9:45 p.m., Kourtney and Travis surprised diners on the harbor front by suddenly arriving in a boat. They then quickly walked into the tunnel to get to their party, while thanking passers-by who congratulated them on their appearance and wished them luck with their marriage. The wedding celebrations finally got underway tonight as celebrity guests began to be ferried to the ceremony on a fleet of speedboats. A group of guests walked to the harbour front in the Italian village of Portofino before boarding the classic Riva boats provided by Italian fashion house Dolce Gabbana. Early arrivals included Megan Fox's boyfriend Machine Gun Kelly, who was sporting pink hair and wearing a multi-colored animal print suit. He hopped on a boat with Blink-182 singer Mark Hoppus, 50, and his wife Sky for the short 5-minute sea journey to a private jetty. Guests bedecked in smart suits and finery relaxed on a range of Dolce Gabbana cushions and towels on the boats and happily waved to fans as they set off. Grammy Award nominee Hoppus also happily posed for selfies with fans and signed autographs before getting on board. The rocker, who was diagnosed with lymphoma last April, and initially publicly revealed his health battle in a June 23 tweet, looked delighted to be supporting his bandmate Travis as he laughed with Sky. Once they alighted at the jetty, the guests climbed a set of steps to a secluded garden where the wedding ceremony is thought to have taken place. The floor of the garden appeared to be covered entirely in a red carpet with a dome covering the venue, covered in foliage and leaves to create a woodland grotto effect. A 12-feet-high gold structure in the shape of a huge gilded picture frame or mirror was earlier seen being erected at one end of the garden plot, which has spectacular views over the Mediterranean. Two other giant gilded stands with wide-brimmed bowls on top were seen filled with red roses. Dozens of candles in glass jars were also lined up ready to be lit and moved into position to create an enchanting and romantic scene. The secret garden venue is in the grounds of a house which has been hired by the Kardashians along with the medieval Castello Brown fortress next door. The couple's marriage ceremony is due to be followed by a party on the terrace of the castle away from the prying eyes of tourists and paparazzi. The ceremony, sponsored by Italian fashion house Dolce Gabbana, is the third time that mother of three Kourtney, 43, and Blink-182 drummer Travis, 46, have got married. The couple had their first small wedding in Los Angeles after the Grammys last month and legally tied the knot last Sunday in Santa Barbara, California. Kourtney was unsurprisingly seen in a Dolce Gabbana wedding dress in black and white pictures of her big day, which she released after the intimate ceremony in Santa Barbara. The Kardashians and Jenners have made very public displays of support for Dolce Gabbana in recent days by wearing the brand's clothes in the run-up to the wedding. Some of the clothes have been vintage items which would have been hard to source, according to fashion industry insiders. Staff have been sworn to secrecy and made to sign legal agreements, forbidding them from talking about the wedding. Other guests seen boarding boats in Portofino harbour to get to the wedding included public relations boss Simon Huck and his finance executive husband Phil Riportella. The couple, who are long-standing Kardashian friends, shared their boat with Kim Kardashian's former personal assistant Stephanie Shepard, known as Steph Shep on Instagram. They were seen excitedly filming the scene with their mobile phones as they looked forward to witnessing the nuptials ahead. Hollywood actress Megan Fox also attended the wedding, but avoided making a very public entry with other guests in the boats. Instead, she was smuggled into the grounds of the castle without being seen, but she was later spotted in a black dress as she walked into the garden to witness the ceremony. As dusk approached, camera flashes were visible through the windows of the house next door to the castle, suggesting that Kourtney was having a final private photo shoot before making her big appearance. Earlier, a string quartet arrived at the wedding, suggesting that guests were going to be entertained with classical music renditions. The wedding ceremony started shortly after 7:30 p.m. local time when the superyacht Regina d'Italia, moored just offshore from Portofino, sounded its horns loudly. Kourtney and Travis had been staying on the £50 million yacht which is believed to be owned by Stefano Gabbana, the co-founder of Dolce Gabbana. The deafening sound echoed around Portofino harbour, startling seagulls and causing tourists to look around in surprise. The sound of a woman singing what appeared to be an operatic song then began to ring out as guests waited for the bride to appear. Travis was spotted arriving at the ceremony in a smart dark suit with a white shirt and his famous bald tattooed head clearly visible as he negotiated his way through the floral displays into the garden venue. He was closely followed by his son Landon, 18, who appeared to be wearing the same bejeweled Dolce Gabbana ensemble that he wore earlier when he was spotted walking around the Portofino harbour area. Landon was accompanied by two bridesmaids and was followed into the ceremony by one of Kourtney's sisters, believed to be Chloe, and Kourtney's daughter Penelope, 9, who is also believed to have been a bridesmaid. Kourtney remained hidden from view as she entered the garden to a moving rendition of a woman singing Ave Maria, as earlier correctly predicted by Mail Online. Minutes later, as dusk fell, Travis was heard saying his marriage vows, although the exact words could not be made out. The newlywed couple were then seen leaving the grotto area as man and wife, and climbing steps back up to the historic house where it is believed they had prepared for the ceremony. It was then that onlookers watching from a beach and a rocky outcrop below got the first glimpse of her in her figure-hugging white wedding dress with what appeared to be a long headdress and long sleeves. Camera flashes were later seen, indicating that the couple were posing for official pictures with their family and friends. Mail Online this morning witnessed a last-minute rehearsal for the reality star's wedding, which is expected to take place later today in a garden grotto beside the walls of a medieval castle in the Italian resort of Portofino. Travis also took to his Instagram story to show an up-close photo of his wedding suit, which appeared to be a shiny black material. And the information comes as the finishing touches are being made at the couple's Luxe Castle venue. A blonde woman, appearing to play the role of Kourtney, 43, was seen walking into the garden with a long green plastic sheet attached to her head in place of a real headdress. The strains of Ave Maria, sung to a melody composed by Franz Schubert in 1825, and regarded as one of the most popular and romantic wedding songs of all time, rang out as the fake bride made her entrance. Two men appeared to be holding the train at the back, seemingly taking on the possible role of bridesmaids and page boys just hours before the ceremony when reality star Kourtney will marry drummer Travis. The fake bride was spotted walking past a pair of men who held up lace umbrellas to mark her arrival in the hidden venue, which has spectacular views over the Mediterranean. Mail Online revealed yesterday that the garden of the house where the ceremony will take place is next to Castello Brown Castle, which has been hired by the Kardashians for the wedding celebrations. It has been decorated with outlandish gold accessories, including a bold 12 feet high gold structure in the shape of a huge gilded picture frame or a mirror. It is believed that the frame will provide a dramatic backdrop to the happy couple as they pose for pictures after tying the knot. Two giant gold stands with bowls on top, containing red roses, have also been installed in the garden. Workers have been hanging leaves and foliage from a curved frame over the length of the 40 feet long garden to create the effect of a woodland hideaway. Dozens of candles in glass jars have been lined up ready to be lit and moved into position in what promises to be an enchanting and romantic scene. It is believed that guests will return to the castle's terrace for a wedding celebration party after the intimate marriage ceremony, which has been sponsored by Italian fashion house Dolce Gabbana. Staff were seen making the final touches to the venue earlier in the day, as they carried red flowers up to the lavish castle. They were also snapped putting up lace-detailed umbrellas at the venue, as the last additions were made to the venue. Today's ceremony will be the third time that mother of three Kourtney and Travis have got married. The couple had their first small wedding in Los Angeles after the Grammys last month and legally tied the knot last Sunday in Santa Barbara, California. Kourtney was unsurprisingly seen in a Dolce Gabbana wedding dress in black and white pictures of her big day, which she released after the intimate ceremony in Santa Barbara. The Kardashians and Jenners have made very public displays of support for Dolce Gabbana in recent days by wearing the brand's clothes in the run-up to the wedding. Some of the clothes have been vintage items which would have been hard to source, according to fashion industry insiders. Dolce Gabbana has been quick to capitalize on the reality stars giving their apparent backing to the brand by retweeting pictures of them walking around Portofino in their outfits. Curious tourists in hire boats anchored in the cove adjacent to the castle were watching the last-minute preparations taking place yesterday. Paths around the perimeter of the castle and the rented house were closed off to the public today to guarantee privacy for the wedding. Staff have been arriving in boats at a jetty which has been erected next to the beachside house, giving them direct access to the venue and the castle. One was seen carrying in drone equipment which is sure to create dramatic images as the couples celebrate their union. At one stage, a gangway with rails erected to help people stepping off the pontoon-style jetty collapsed into the water, but it is not believed that anyone was hurt. Mail Online witnessed staff diving into the sea to manhandle the gangway back into position. Efforts were then made to tie it more securely into position to stop it collapsing again and causing potential disaster by spilling guests into the sea. Staff have been sworn to secrecy and made to sign legal agreements, forbidding them from talking about the wedding.